Good day, learners! Today we're going to discuss multiplication of polynomials. So the first one is multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. Second is multiplying a binomial by another binomial. And lastly, multiplying a polynomial by another polynomial. Let's start. First up, we have multiplying polynomial by a monomial. So as we all know, when we say polynomial, we have more than one term. And if we say monomial, we only have one term. So I have here some examples. So how are we going to multiply a monomial to a polynomial? We are going to make use of the distributive property of multiplication over addition or subtraction. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Suppose we have example number 1. 4a squared times the quantity of 2a plus 7. So, mapapansin natin yung nasa labas, this is a monomial. Okay, kasi isang term lang siya. Yung nasa loob naman, this is polynomial, specifically this is binomial. Kasi nga, meron siyang dalawang terms, 2a and 7. So what we're going to do is simply distribute kung ano yung given monomial natin. Mumultiply natin yung monomial sa lahat ng terms na nasa loob ng parentheses. Okay, let's start. So we're going to multiply 4a squared by 2a. And always take note of the laws of exponents under multiplication. So 4a squared times 2a, it would be equal to 8. So i-multiply muna natin yung mga numerical coefficients. 4 times 2, that is 8. Then since same sila ng base or variable, we're going to copy the variable, then add the exponents. So a squared times a, it will become a cubed. Kasi nga yung exponent ng first variable natin na a is 2 at yung nasa loob naman na variable a is 1. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Next, we're going to distribute or multiply 4a squared by 7. So 4 times 7, that would be equal to positive 28. So positive 28. Then we're going to affix yung literal coefficient natin, yung variable at saka yung given exponent. So it will become a square. So make sure that yung final answer natin is arranged in descending order. Kasi nga ito yung standard form ng pagkakasulat ng sagot ng isang polynomial. Let's move on. How about 3x times the quantity of 12x squared minus 5x plus 1? So as we can see, we have monomial and we also have trinomial na nasa loob ng parentheses. So using the distributive property of multiplication over addition or subtraction, we simply distribute 3x to each term inside the parentheses. Okay? So, since tatlong terms yung nasa loob ng parentheses natin, tatlong beses din natin, i-distribute si 3x. So 3x times 12x squared, it will become 36x cubed. Okay? 3x times negative 5x, it will become negative 15x squared. Now, make sure na careful kayo sa signs. Always follow the rules sa pag-multiply ng integer. So, positive times negative, it will become negative. Then, finally, we have 3x times positive 1. So, it will be equal to 3x. Then, the final answer would be 3x cubed minus 15x squared plus 3x. Now, how about the last example? We have negative p squared and we're going to multiply it to the given polynomial. So, yung given polynomial natin has 4 terms. So, ibig sabihin, 4 na beses din natin i-distribute si negative p squared. Okay? So, let's start. Negative p squared times 3p raised to 5. We will have negative 3p raised to 7. Okay? Then negative p squared times 2p cubed. That will be equal to negative 2p raised to 5. And negative p squared times negative p squared, we will have positive p raised to 4. And finally, negative p squared times negative 10, we will have positive 10p squared. So this would be our final answer now. We have negative 3p raised to 7 minus 2p raised to 5 plus p raised to 4 plus 10p squared. Moving on, we have multiplying binomial by another binomial. So in this case, we're going to make use of one method. We call this one as the FOIL method. So in this method, the acronym FOIL stands for F, first terms, O, outer terms, I, inner terms, and of course, L for last terms. So ito yung susundin natin para mamultiply or makuha natin yung product ng isang binomial multiplied to another binomial. Let's have an example. Suppose we have the quantity of 2x plus 1 times the quantity of 3x minus 4. So following yung rules natin or yung method ng FOIL, we have F or yung first terms natin would be 2x and 3x. Okay? So ito yung first terms natin, si 2x. Multiply natin kay 3x. Okay? Next, yung outer naman natin, pag sinabi natin outer, nasa magkabilang dulo. So, yung outer natin, or yung O, would be 2x and negative 4. So, we will have 2x times negative 4. Then, next would be the inner terms. Yung I natin. Yung inner terms naman natin, we have 1 and 3x. So, 1 times 3x. And lastly, yung last terms naman natin, ito yung second terms ng bawat binomial. So yung second term dito sa first binomial is 1. Yung second term naman dito sa second binomial is negative 4. So again, please do not be confused. First terms natin, 2x and 3x. Ang outer terms naman natin is 2x and negative 4. First, outer. Yung inner terms naman natin would be 1 and 3x. And of course, yung last terms naman natin would be 1 and negative 4. So, i-multiply lang natin sila. So, after multiplying each pair, we're going to add their product. So, first, 2x and 3x, we will have 6x squared, right? Then, 2x times negative 4, we have negative 8x. Then, 1 times 3x, we have 3x. And lastly, 1 times negative 4, we have negative 4. So, if we're going to add them, uunahin mo natin yung first, outer, inner, then last. Isusulat natin sila. 6x squared. Then, we have negative 8x. We have positive 3x. And negative 4. So, kung papansinin natin, dalawang terms lang yung pwede nating makombine. We have negative 8x and positive 3x. So just a recap, we can only combine, ibig sabihin we can only add or subtract terms if and only if they have the same literal coefficient. So ibig sabihin, same sila ng variable, at the same time, same din sila ng exponent na nasa variable. So, i-bring down lang natin si 6x squared, yung first term natin. Then we're going to combine negative 8x and positive 3x. So negative 8x plus positive 3x, we will have negative 5x. Then, bring down lang natin yung constant term natin. We have negative 4. And this would be your final answer. 6x squared minus 5x minus 4. Now, how about the second example? We have the quantity of 4x plus 7 times the quantity of 5x plus 1. So, again, since binomial multiplied by another binomial, then we're going to follow the FOIL method. Kung bihasa na kayo, pwede na natin hindi isulat lahat. Okay? So, first na i-multiply natin is yung first terms. Again, yung first terms natin, yun yung first terms ng bawat binomial. So, ibig sabihin, we're going to multiply 4x and 5x. So, 4x times 5x, isisulat ko muna. Then, i-add natin dun sa next na mga product. Next would be outer term. Ano yung mga outer terms natin dito? We have 4x and 1. So, sila yung mga terms na nasa magkabilang dulo. So, we have 4x times 1. Plus, next would be the inner terms. Okay, ito yung nasa gitna. So, we have 7 and 5x. So, 7 times 5x. Then, plus, lastly would be the last terms. Yung last terms naman, ito yung mga second terms ng bawat binomial. So, we have 7 and 1. Okay? So, we have 7 times 1. And after that, we're going to simplify. 4x plus 5x, we will have 20x squared. 4x times 1, we will have 4x. And 7 times 5x, we will get 35x. Then lastly, 7 times 1 is equal to 7. Then, titingnan natin kung saan dito yung pwede nating makombine. So, ang pwede lang nating makombine as one term would be 4x and 35x. So, the rest na hindi natin pwede makombine, we just simply bring it down or ikokopyahin lang natin. So, we have 20x squared. Then, we're going to add 4x and 35x. So, it will become 39x. And lastly, we have the constant term which is positive 7. So, the final answer is 20x squared plus 39x plus 7. And for our last example, we have the quantity of 8a minus 4 times the quantity of 5a minus 6. So again, following yung FOIL method natin, yung first terms muna yung una natin kukunan ng product. So yung first terms natin, we have 8a and 5a. So it will become 8a times 5a. Then plus yung outer terms naman natin. Yung outer terms natin ay nasa magkabilang dulo. So we have 8a and negative 6. So we have 8a times negative 6. Next would be the inner terms. Yung inner terms naman natin, we have negative 4 and 5a. So plus pa rin, negative 4 and 5a. Then plus. Lastly, yung last terms natin. Yung last terms natin, we have negative 4 and negative 6. So, negative 4 times negative 6. After this one, we're going to get the product of each pair. So, 8a times 5a, that would be equal to 40a squared. 8a times negative 6, it will become negative 48a. And negative 4 times 5a, it will become negative 20a. Then lastly, we have negative 4 times negative 6, it will become positive 24. Then after that one, we're going to look at yung sagot natin. We make sure na nakasimplify siya. So ibig sabihin, yung pwedeng makombine natin, kailangan natin silang i-combine. So in this case, negative 48a at negative 20a can be combined as one term. Bring down lang natin yung 40a squared. Then negative 48a minus 28, it will become negative 68a. Then simply bring down yung last term natin, positive 24. Therefore, the final answer is 40a squared minus 68a plus 24. And the last condition would be multiplying a polynomial by another polynomial. So in this case, gagamitin pa rin natin yung ginamit natin sa first na method, which is the distributive property of multiplication over addition or subtraction. So suppose we have the quantity of 4y plus 2 times the quantity of 3y squared plus 2y minus 5. So in this case, yung binomial natin, i-distribute natin sa bawat terms na nasa given polynomial natin or sa second polynomial natin. So, yung first term natin, i-multiply natin sa first term sa other polynomial. So, it would be 4y times 3y, which is equal to 12y cubed. Again, 4y times 3y squared. So, 12y cubed yung sagot niya. Then, yung 4y naman, i-multiply ko dun sa next na term. So, 4y times 2y, we will have positive 8y squared. And 4y times negative 5, we will have negative 20y. Now, after natin ma-distribute yung first term, yung second term naman yung i-distribute natin dun sa another polynomial. So in this case, if we're going to get the product of a polynomial multiplied to another polynomial, we see to it na lahat ng terms na nasa first group ay ma-distribute natin dun sa lahat ng terms na nasa second group. Okay. So let's multiply now 2 sa bawat terms na nasa second polynomial natin. So we have 2 times 3y squared. So it would be 6y squared. Next is 2 times 2y. So we will have positive 4y. And lastly, we have 2 times negative 5. So ang sagot natin is negative 10. Okay? Now, gaya ng ginawa natin kanina, we make sure na nasa standard form. And we see to it na kung ano pa yung mga terms na pwede natin makombine, i-combine natin sila as one term. So, 12y cubed, wala siyang kaparehas o kapartner. So, we bring down lang natin. Next, we have 8y squared. So, kung mapapansin natin, same sila ng literal coefficient ni 6y squared. So, we can add them, combine them as 1. So, 8y squared plus 6y squared, it would be equal to 14y squared. And next, we have negative 20y. So, same sila ng literal coefficient ni positive 4y. So, negative 20y plus 4y, kukombine natin sila, we will have 16y. Okay? 16y kasi nga, opposite sila ng sign. Then we are going to proceed to subtraction. And kopyahin lang natin yung number na may greatest absolute value. So we have negative, or yung sign ng number na may greatest absolute value. Kaya yung answer natin is negative 16y. Then lastly, negative 10. So wala nang kapartner si negative 10. So we simply bring down negative 10. And finally, we arrive with the final answer, which is 12y cubed plus 14y squared minus 16y minus 10. Now it's your turn. Try to answer the following questions. And that's a wrap. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Sir Ninyo. And you can also post your math problems in the comment section, and we will do our very best to provide solution to your questions. Because remember, every problem has a solution, at kung math ang problema ninyo, ako ang kaagapay ninyo, ako ang Sir Ninyo.